Hello and welcome back to the Ultimate Marble Racing International. We are back with race number 10 at Malaysia. Wow, it's a good thing you didn't miss the start. Must have been loud enough for you to hear it. Sorry, a bit of a longer break in between. Got a little bit held up because on the way back my girlfriend stopped me and had some gossip she needed to share, which could not wait. So it took a little bit longer for me to get things set up, but we are back. Eggbot leading, Moo in second, and Shady currently in third. Not something I can really spill. Personal stuff going on. Otherwise I would share away. And yeah, saw the comment. She said it'd be useful if we could see the standings on the Be Right Back. I could actually leave the standings screen up while I'm. Actually, no, I couldn't because I have to go into the sheet that everything's held on. So actually, I don't know if that would be possible because I'd be changing the pages. So I might not actually be able to do that. Thinking about it, unfortunately. But yeah. Malaysia, let's head over to the track. The familiar sight is MotoGP Malaysia. Twitch broke again. Oh dear. Twitch. I have sometimes thought about whether I should stream this onto YouTube or whether I should do Twitch and YouTube. Just something I've thought about. But then, of course, I have my stream for YouTube set up on my main channel, and I upload all of these onto a separate channel, so it'd be a bit awkward going back and forth unless I streamed these onto my main channel, then uploaded them onto the second channel. And then I've also thought about whether to just put everything onto my main channel and get rid of the Ultimate Marble Racing channel altogether and switch it all through to my Space Egg channel. But I'm very indecisive with those sorts of things, so at the moment I'm not doing any of it. And thank you for the hydrate. Because technically I could stream to Twitch and YouTube at the same time, seeing as it is now allowed to. So it is something I've thought about and considered, but I'm not 100% sure yet whether that's something I'll do or not. We might try it on a future season and see how things go. But let's get everyone spawned in. Front row we have Weep, Alfonso, Azure and Snorker. Back row we have Jimmy, Eggbot, Demon and Fludes. Now predictions. 2 minutes to get those predictions in. And let's take a look around the track, the familiar sight with many half pipes and tunnels. There is a song called White Chocolate Space Egg. Very interesting. You'll have to tell me if it's worth listening to. Of course, my name on YouTube is just Space Egg. I would have had that on Twitch, but apparently someone already has the name. Very annoyingly. I think I found the account. I think it's just a totally inactive account that doesn't stream. That just annoyingly has the name I wanted, so I had to put live on the end. But, you know, it is what it is. Just gotta put up with it. So into an S-bend, opening up into a big half pipe, then shrinking back down through the tunnel. Lots of half pipes, lots of tunnels. Of course, we need a ladder. And a split section. Where we go into the skinny pipes, the skinny half pipes. And then opening back up. Couple of sharp corners and then back down the start finish. 10 laps. And prediction timer is finishing. Cheese. Don't forget this time. You've got a reminder to predict. Yeah. Yeah, try and get that account removed. I don't think it's active at all. But yeah, if I could get my name switched to just Space Egg on here, I would. But you know, it's no big deal. Space Egg Live's not too bad. It basically explains what it is. You got Space Egg on YouTube, and then you got Space Egg Live for the live stuff. Why did Cheese just pin a comment of unfortunate by Boer? Where did Space Egg come from? I have been asked a few times, and I've said one day that I will go through a story. I'll do a story time of why the name. There is actually a reason, which goes back many years. But that day is not today. That day will be in the future, maybe at a follower goal, a subscriber goal on YouTube. But not yet. So if you want some more incentive to get sharing, get that count up, then you may be able to hear the story. Your pro moderator, yeah, just doing your best work. Right, get the countdown started. You can ask Eggbot. Eggbot will probably just waffle because even Eggbot doesn't know. I'm sure you could try asking though, and I'm sure it's going to be a very interesting response. So Alfonso leading, Weep in second, Azur in third. Or slow exit though, Snorker and B are going to come through. B getting slowed down by Snorker will drop a few positions. Looks like Boer is gaining some good speed there. Down to the ladder though. Bit of a pushback for Boer. Eggbot having some big difficulties after coming off such a good race. Eggbot having struggles early on. And it is Weep and Alfonso side by side, heading up the tall ladder. There'll be a slow climb. And we're at the top. Everyone will just have to remind Iceman to get those new versions uploaded for the future tracks before the races go ahead, so we can remove all the ladders. Or at least reduce the ladders. Ooh, that was a bad exit by Alfonso, dropping a lot of speed there and dropping a lot of positions. Good turn around the outside there by Demon to avoid a collision. They do still have the ladder entries, but they're quicker. The ladder entries are just there to punish you, boy. Just to make things hard on you. It's Iceman's way of swaying the odds. Oh, that sounds good. They should have all new tracks ready to go. Oh, and talking about the ladder curse, Balls of Steel having it rough at the moment. B dropping down from 7th and will be going down to 15th, just behind Boer. It does. It can create a bit of tension. Heading down the split section here. You know who you should bring it up with? You should bring it up with the dev. Because they were the one that put the ladders in the game. And they were the what appeared to be the main intended way of going up in the game. So there's a person to raise that issue to. Ask for more ways of going up that don't involve a ladder. So Superboss going up into the lead. and holds it onto the ladder. Weep and Demon will be side by side, followed by Snorker, and then Pesky Bird. We do actually have quite a few ways now. But also there's still a lot that are just being made custom. So obviously the really popular one is the elevator with the vertical boost at a set speed that pulls you up. Technically I'd class that not as one that's built into the game, that's more of people being creative with the boosters. -1 gravity, technically another way that does work, but isn't like an upwards block. And there have been some issues with the -gravity. I'm pretty sure there's a track we played that had that, and there's a chance you'd just get fired through the pipe at the top that was meant to collect you. So Superboss, I think, took the fastest lap, but a couple of seconds there before Boer came through and took it away. And Boer managing to move up to 8th. Yeah, I think the set speed boost is probably the most reliable way to do it at the moment that isn't using a built-in block to do it. So Demon up in first now on the ladder, Superboss in second, Jimmy in third. Portals are good. They can just be hard to track sometimes in a race if the portal goes really far away. Because you either have to stay and watch everyone on that current bit going in and miss everything coming out the other end, or go up to the top to follow that first one or first few and potentially miss the stuff before it. So it depends if there's exciting bits before or after and how far apart those portals are. But if used correctly, and Demon coming through and setting a fastest lap, absolutely storming away, going up to a 2-second lead ahead of Superboss, and Moo and Jimmy battling it out. Moo's going to fend Jimmy off at the moment, but Jimmy with more speed, but Moo's going to block. Yeah, I say with the updates, there's definitely become more creative ways of doing them. Magnet railgun lift. Sounds interesting. We've obviously seen the ski lift on the ski map. Ski track, should say more than map. So there are starting to be more ways, which is nice to see. These ladders will soon be things of the past. Relics of old. And I've actually built 2 tracks recently. I got back into doing some building. I actually realised I didn't have all the achievements on the game, and one of the tracks was just meant to be to try and get some numbers down on achievements like marble spawns, placed decorations, which is a crazy amount for the last achievement in that. And then I ended up making a track that I quite liked and then developed it further. So I have recently made 2 tracks myself. And they may be in future season as well, because I quite enjoy them both. Whether they'll stay, who knows, depends if other people like them as well. I see the hydrate, thank you. My fresh cold water. So a strong performance by Demon so far on lap 6. Superboss being chased down by Cheese here. Cheese with more speed gets the overtake. There's a pile up at the ladder, but Demon managing to hold on, getting on there first. Cheese getting pushed on by Alfonso, but does drop quite a few spots, struggling to get on. Jimmy, Superboss and Moo will be side by side. And we still have B trailing behind. Now I'll also mention another game that I will be streaming coming out soon will be the new Borderlands game, because I am a massive Borderlands fan. I've played the other games so much, repeatedly over and over, and I wasn't even sure if there was really going to be another one. Borderlands went quiet for a long time, and I was so hyped when I saw that there was another one coming out. So I can't lie, I'm very hyped for that coming out, and that is, I think, on the 12th. So when that drops, I will definitely be streaming it. I'll be doing a playthrough on it, and probably some multiplayer stuff, some co-op on it. Yeah, so there's that for those that like the Borderlands games, or that just want to check it out. Superboss has some more exit speed coming to the ladder, but Demon again with a good entry, and Jimmy gets a good entry as well. Will be joining Demon. Superboss is going to have to settle for falling in behind them. Then it's Cheese, followed by Pesky and Moo. Comedy Brick Rigs has no brown colour preset after me own every time. Interesting. Heading up to the top of the ladder. Who's got the better line? Jimmy giving Demon a bit of a shove, slowing Demon down. Superboss tries to sneak through and take advantage of that, but cannot find a way past. But Demon with a good line squeezes around Jimmy, going back up into first, and is now on the defensive. But Jimmy makes a lunge on the inside. It is quite the battle for first here between the three of these. Oh, Superboss gets a bad exit though, clipping the wall. Jimmy and Demon will break away. I think we just saw Cheese absolutely flying around there, trying to get past Superboss, but doesn't quite make it around. Out into the opening. Through the tunnel. And Cheese just cannot find any way past Superboss. But there it is. The perfect timing, making use of that opportunity with the ladder, lunging on and making it perfectly, going up to third. Balls of Steel doing fantastic. Yeah, couldn't be doing any better right now. It's the curse of the ladders. It's not just Boy, it's affecting the whole team. Eggbot really not doing well after such a good performance, getting up to the top of the standings. It's all falling apart in this one. But this could be big points for Demon if they can keep hold of first and keep hold of that fastest lap. Favourite water slide that you've been to? Can't say I've ever been asked that question. I haven't been on many, to be honest. Don't really have many around where I am. And I can hardly remember any that I've actually been on. I think the only water park I remember really going to was one on a trip I took at the end of school in sixth form to Lake Garda in Italy. And they have a theme park and a water park there. And not gonna lie, I'm not a massive fan of rides. I'm not a fan of water slides or roller coasters. But I did go on some there. But I couldn't tell you much about it because I barely remember the water slides. When you were a kid, you loved one called Double Dragon. blue and full of steam. He went unmaxed. That's pretty cool. Jimmy still trying to find a way past Demon up at the front. And Cheese and Superboss also dueling it out. But still fairly close between everyone up at the front here. Jimmy got a bad exit there with the wall clip. Cheese not a great exit either. Superboss is going to come flying around. And Cheese with more exit speed back in front of Superboss. Oh, but Superboss quicker into the next section will reclaim. There's an absolute battle for third going on. It is a big point jump getting up into third. Third, second and first are big for points. And Jimmy choking at the ladder means Cheese and Superboss are going to both come through side by side and will now be battling for second instead of third. Further back. Really not looking good for Balls of Steel here. And where's Eggbot? Here's Eggbot coming along. Just hasn't been able to successfully get on the ladder in the first few attempts here. Lap after lap. And it is the final lap of the race. So this could be big for Cheese and Superboss. Cheese making a lunge in front of Superboss. Superboss with loads of speed. Demon's just flying away while everyone behind is battling. Coming around the final corners now. Jimmy is right behind Cheese. This could be close for second and third. The Demon coming across. Takes the win and still holding the fastest lap. Superboss will take second. Cheese takes third. Jimmy is going to have to settle for fourth. Pesky Bird fifth. Moose sixth. Iceman seventh. Azure eighth. Alfonso ninth. Shady 10th. Oh, Weep hitting the wall means Boy and B are going to take a couple of positions there. Flude's not quite quick enough, so Boy will be 11th, B 12th, Weep 13th, Flude's 14th, Snorker 15th, and Eggbot will come across the line in 16th. So a great race there by Demon. 2.5 second lead across the line. Fastest lap as well, that'll be big for the points. And very close battle for second there. Superboss and Cheese managing to get past Jimmy on the ladder. Battling out all the way down to the end. It was a great race indeed. So prediction wise, I think we might have actually had a winner. We've had 2 successful guesses on the predictions. We actually get to have winners. Though, yeah. I don't know what I'm saying. My brain fogged up there. There we go. It looks like Boer and Iceman are our winners. So well done to you two on the prediction. So now, rats chewing the wires. So now I'm going to go and put the results over on the leaderboard, and I'll be back in just a minute with the standings. Alright, the results have been entered, so let's head over to the standings. So following that race, Moo is leading with 216 points. Eggbot knocked down to second with 204 points. Shady 1 point behind with 203 points. Cheese in fourth, just 2 points out of the top 3 now with 201 points. Superboss in fifth with 199. Pesky Bird in sixth with 193. Boy down to seventh with 191. Iceman in eighth with 190. Demon in ninth with 176. And Jimmy in 10th with 171. Then we have Azure, Alfonso, Snorker, Wheat, Blues, and B. Green Slushy is starting to fall apart as we go into the second half of the season. And Balls of Steel, I would say falling apart, but they were kind of struggling from the get-go. But it looks like Boer is starting to have some major difficulties. He's going to have to turn things around to try and get back into the top 3. In the team standings, Eternal Darkness doing quite well at the moment. Up in first with 191 points, Grandmasters in second with 188, Dogeballs in third with 187, Tutti Frutti in fourth with 186, Ultraviolets in fifth with 184, and then we have Icebreakers, Green Slushies, Snowballs, Marble Minions, and Balls of Steel. Keep carrying the team. Yeah, it's starting to take its toll. It's a bit of a struggle. Going to take a miracle to get back into the runnings. I think it's still possible. The points are still fairly close together. I know sometime soon we're probably going to get Iceman's analytics coming into play. But I think everyone still has a possibility. So, you know, maybe you might turn things around in the second half. We will have to see. But we will be back next week with Australia and Marshall Islands. So we have that to look forward to. And then we'll also have Fiji, Canada, USA and Mexico. And the week after will be the final 2 races. No speaking this weekend. I'm out tomorrow for a birthday. So maybe Sunday I'll try and rest, and hopefully we'll be good for the Monday stream. Yeah, the championship math. I like it when someone else does it. It saves me trying to figure it all out. Gives me one thing I don't have to think about. Very fun stream. Thanks to everyone for the feedback. Yeah, some good tracks, of course. The Marble GP tracks. Again, all on the workshop. Said this before, but there's loads and loads of Marble GP tracks on the workshop. Just look up Iceman and you'll find absolutely loads. Absolutely tons of them. But yeah, great season so far. And some good races. And great viewers as well, being here to watch, helping keep the entertainment going. But that is going to be it for this one. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one.